If I am correct in what I have presented, the cherubim denote the image of God in Christ in humankind. For this reason, a cherub was fashioned on each end of the mercy seat of the Ark of the Covenant, facing each other, representing the first man, Adam, or natural body, and the last Adam, Christ, or spiritual body. As Paul stated, the spiritual is not first, but the natural, and afterward, the spiritual. In the divine process of God, we cannot achieve the spiritual apart from the natural. In part 9 of this series, we found that the cherubim, or living creatures, are seen 20 times in the book of Revelation. The spiritual meaning of 20 is redemption, and fits quite well with the understanding that those who are fully redeemed in every sense of the word will indeed manifest God's image as Christ does. For this reason, the living creatures are an integral part of the souls in the fifth seal, who are the 144,000 in Revelation, chapters 7 and 10. The placing of the cherubim around the tree of life was not so much a restriction as it was an understanding that God's divine process cannot be circumvented. First the natural, then the spiritual. This is the process of resurrection. Now let me state the obvious. A cherub or cherubim never refers to angels. This would be completely illogical in light of what we have considered. God decreed that man, not angels, would be made in his image. This brings us to the following. It shall come to pass in the day the Lord gives you rest from your sorrow and from your fear and the hard bondage in which you were made to serve, that you will take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, How the oppressor has ceased, the golden city ceased. Here Isaiah speaks of a proverb against the king of Babylon. As we continue in this chapter, we come to the following. How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Do you recognize these passages? In conjunction with Ezekiel 28:14, they have been used to support the idea that Satan is a fallen angel. Here's Ezekiel 28:14. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of fiery stones. Here we find a portion of a lamentation for the king of Tyre. First, a proverb against the king of Babylon, and second, a lamentation against the king of Tyre. Are these discourses a type pointing to an antitype such as a fallen angel? No, because as stated, a cherub is not an angelic being. In Isaiah 14, we find the word Lucifer. This is the only time this word is found in the Bible. Strong's defines it as, in the sense of brightness. The morning star, however, further research suggests that this word was mistranslated by St. Jerome, who is best known for his translation of the Bible into Latin, a version known as the Vulgate. The Hebrew word in question meant howl. One questionable word, yet almost everyone, without exception, believes it refers to a fallen angel known as Satan or the devil. Is it possible that one word and its corresponding idea could lead to this much deception? It is, for there are other such deceptions embraced by Christendom that are just as questionable. Looking once more at our passages from Isaiah 14, note there are 5 things mentioned with the 5th being, I will be like the Most High. Might this correlate with the serpent's statement to Eve, you will be like God? Isn't the you in this statement referring to man and not an angel? Didn't Paul state that Adam was not deceived? This being true, might Adam have disobeyed out of pride as suggested by the 5 things noted in Isaiah 14? Should we doubt the pride of the king of Babylon or man in general, We need only read Daniel chapter 4 and Matthew chapter 23. As for the passages in Ezekiel 28, they are quite symbolic. But once we consider the context with the idea that a cherub doesn't speak of an angel, it seems to point to Adam. And Adam? He points to the natural and carnal essence in all of us. In keeping with the idea of fallen angels, proponents quote the following: "And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born." This is the only passage in the Bible that even remotely suggests that Satan took a third of the angels with him when and if he rebelled. But this begs the question, why would anyone go to the end of the Bible to validate something that supposedly happened before humankind was even created? Furthermore, it is about context, which is the surrounding information that helps us to understand something better. It's like the frame around a picture, providing background and perspective. Have you ever heard someone say, "Don't take it out of context"? The context of Revelation 12 has nothing to do with anything that happened before the creation of the world and humankind. Yes, the great red dragon is called the devil and Satan. And yes, we're told that there was war in heaven, and the great dragon was cast out into the earth. But which heaven was Satan cast out of? There are three. And what is meant by the 7 heads and 10 horns of this dragon, which just happens to carry over to the beast that rises out of the sea in the next chapter? If there is such a thing as fallen angels, how do we answer the following? "But to which of the angels has he ever said, 'Sit at my right hand, till I make your enemies your footstool'? Are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for those who will inherit salvation?" If Satan is an angel of any sort, then according to these passages, he is a ministering spirit, confirmed by the word all. Should this challenge your present mindset, I recommend reading 1 Kings chapter 22, Judges 9:23, Ezekiel 14:9, and 2 Thessalonians 2:11. There's much more that could be said about the cherubim, as well as the concept of Lucifer, but I will leave that for possibly another series. If you would like to consider this subject further, visit my website at grainofwheatpublishing.org, where you can download my study, The Serpent: An Alternative View of the Devil, available through Smashwords.